Hi, welcome again. Today I want to share something that's really important. And for people who have suffered from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, this is really important. But it's also important to the everyday person. We all have triggers, things that happen suddenly, and we change our behavior. We change the way that we react to things. I'm going to give you a little phrase that you can repeat to yourself. Feelings are alarm systems. They're not places to move in. Repeat that with me. Feelings are alarm systems. They're not new addresses for me to move into. What do I mean by that? Are you aware when you wake up in the morning of your emotions? How do you approach the day? Someone says or does something and you jump or you overreact, or you were in a good mood and now all of a sudden you feel a sense of anger or resentment and you're not sure what changed. Here's the problem with us humans. We build a little house there and we stay there instead of taking a moment to try to realize what happened, who showed up. Who showed up in my environment? Did somebody make a comment that made you feel uneasy and brought you back to a place in your childhood? If those alarms are constantly ringing for you, that means that you are not fully healed. But here's the good news. By allowing ourselves to sit with that, and what I mean by that is we write them down. And we find, because we're grown-ups, right? We don't have to throw a fit right then and there. We find a space and we go and we dismantle the story. And we begin to try to think, who said what? Who used to say that? Let's say you did something at work and it didn't produce the results that your boss was expecting, or that you were expecting because you are the boss. And now all of a sudden, the little girl is back alert and alive, and she's saying, you see, you never get things right. Why do you keep trying? It's never going to work. See, they told you. How about you take a moment and you sit down? Who was the first person to make that comment? As far back as you can go. Think 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, however you need to think it. Then write it down. Then you go to your logical brain and you say, this is not the truth. Now begin to write what the truth is. Then you create your positive affirmation. Now, if for you it's really hard to believe the truth, that's where an accountability partner comes in very handy. You say to that person, hey, I have these limiting beliefs and I need you to challenge me. One of the things that I do for one of my friends is I constantly ask, what are you afraid of? Stop. What are you afraid of? There's a technique in counseling called grounding. And grounding is simply putting your feet flat on the ground you're in, sitting there for a moment, looking at your entire environment, doing a full assessment of where you're standing, and telling that alarm that is ringing, we're safe. We're not 10 years old. We're not home. This person doesn't pay my bills. I can speak my mind to this person. I can say whatever it is that I need to say. Once you do that check-in and you take a couple of these breaths, you would realize that what your system is trying to do is take you back to the only way you knew how to react. I want to leave you with this. It takes 21 days to build a new habit, but it takes 90 to get that new habit to stick. Continue to do the assignments. Continue to do the work. When you feel an unwanted emotion, go to your journal. Identify it as a warning. What is it trying to tell you? And how should you be responding to that alarm? Remember, move in courage. You have all the courage you need. You have survived so much. You are well on your way to becoming the person you are meant to be. We need you. See you next time.